Hello, everyone. My name's John, and I am an end-of-life doula with Hope Hospice down in Fort Myers, Florida. And I am here at the Jersey Shore in Sea City, and I wanted to share a very unique experience that happened a few months back when my mother transitioned, or the label that we typically use in our culture is death, but as an end-of-life doula, it's just a label. Anyway, I wanted to share the experience with you all. It was really pretty spectacular, personally, as my mother transitioned, but also in the context of an end-of-life doulaship that I have. So, my mom has had some early onset dementia, and for a while, and I would come up every 2 months to New Jersey to help tend to her with my sister from Florida. And this particular time in March, I got a phone call, so I came up to New Jersey. She was in the hospital. And when I went to see her, this is mid-March, when I went to see her, she was tied down to the bed because she had an NG tube down into her throat. And it was, of course, pretty surprising to see. And upon speaking to the doctors, they had indicated that she had a blockage and there wasn't anything further they could do. They had done a scope and they can't get past it, and it's going to have to work itself out. And she hadn't eaten for I think it was just 7 days. And I had spoken to my sister, and it was agreed that the curative treatment should come to an end, and that she would come home to be with her dog as she had wished when I asked her, what would you like to do? She said, I just want to be home with my dog. So that was the goal, to bring her home and to allow hospice to provide comfort and care to her. There was nothing else that could be done. So was able to bring her home, and called hospice. The durable medical equipment was ordered, so there was a bed in the living room. And I noticed the next morning that her dementia symptoms were absolutely just gone. And it was like a miracle to me. But I noticed it immediately in her presence. And I monitored as things unfolded. So, anyway. Excuse me. So, she was home, and I, of course, walked her to the bathroom. She wasn't eating, and she said she's not interested in eating. So, in those situations, it was ice chips and keeping her lips moist and her throat moist, making sure she would be safe, etc. So, we spent a lot of time just talking and holding her hand and just being with her in this presence. And for me, it was important to create a beautiful space and hold space for her in this process. And that was one of my jobs to do with her, was to create a very stable energy and provide space so that she can go through this experience, this sacred experience that we often shun in our culture, which is an embarrassment, however, without judgment. It is what it is, so it's coming around. Anyway, so I was talking to her at one point, and she said to me, she goes, I love you. I said, I know, I love you. And it was really cute just because she kept going, I love you. And I'm like, I know, I love you too. And it was very, very sweet. And at one point she said to me, I'm afraid. And I said, there's nothing to fear in this experience. I said, we live in a very loving universe, and there's nothing to fear at all. And I said, I will be here with you this entire process. I said, I will be by your side. I will help you in every aspect of making you safe and comfortable and loved. And I noticed after that, she never brought that point up again. And I was just really grateful to that interaction that we had. So, I had made plane reservations because I wasn't sure how long this was going to happen for her. So I would change my flight every 4 days to return home to Florida. But as time progressed, we got into the very beginning of April. So it was like April 1st or so, the weekend, Saturday before Good Friday. Excuse me. And I was sitting with her, and I had my hand holding her hand, and she was looking at me, and then all of a sudden, she started looking up above my shoulder and off with a curiosity in her face, just looking over, and then she would dart over this way and was looking around behind me and off to the side of me. And as an end-of-life doula, with patience, I do see this, but this was super unique because this is my mother, and I can communicate with her in a different way than a typical patient that I would be sitting with. So as I saw this unfolding right in front of me, I wanted to take the opportunity to ask her what she's seeing. So I said to her, with my hand, her hand in my hand, I said, I'd like to ask you some questions. Is that okay? Squeeze my finger for yes, and don't squeeze my finger for no. And she squeezed my finger. And I was like, okay, that's helpful. And I had said to her, I said, are there others in the room than just you and I? Squeeze my finger for yes, don't squeeze it for no. And she squeezed my finger. I said to her after that, I said, are there more than 10 in the room? And she didn't squeeze my finger. I said, are there less than 10 in the room? And she squeezed my finger. The whole time she's looking past me, and the beautiful curiosity in her face was so striking to me. And so I just sat there with her for a minute, and I said, do you see Dad? And she squeezed my finger. And I was like, okay. And I said, do you see Aunt Pat? And she squeezed my finger. I said, do you see Uncle Joe? And she didn't squeeze my finger. And I said, do you see Ginger? One of her dogs that she loved, a little chihuahua dog. She squeezed my finger. And I said to her, I gave her, I was kind of taking this in. And then I said to her, can you feel how much I love you? And she squeezed my finger. And I said, knowing that during this process, the veil starts to thin between the physical realm and the non-physical realm, and that's clearly what she's being able to see, and also still communicating this to me, which is why I wanted to make this video, to share this with you all. And I said, can you feel my heart? And can you see my heart? And she squeezed my finger. And I said to her, I got this strange message about a friend of hers from high school that I knew the name of. Her name is Cookie. And the message came to me, ask her about Cookie. And I was like, okay. And I said, is Cookie there? And she squeezed my finger. And I was like, okay. And then I asked her if she saw her all-time favorite dog, Mr. Pepper. And when I asked her, do you see Mr. Pepper? She looked directly in my face and was like, with a smile, and she was just all excited. I thought that was amazing. So now she had transitioned communication from her fingers and squeezing my hand to her face. And I wanted to ask her some additional questions without stressing her out. I know the window was short because I didn't want her to go into distress in any way. So anyway, I asked her, I said, do we come to this planet to learn lessons? And she shook her head up and down. And I asked her another question after that, and I said, "Did you and I plan to come here together?" And she shook her head up and down. And I said, "Did you and I plan to come to this planet before we were even introduced, before we came to this planet? Did we plan on this, to work together?" And she shook her head up and down. All of these things, in my experience as a near-death experiencer and also as an end-of-life doula, and through this journey, I know to be true. And the important thing in sharing this with everyone is about the experience that I had with my mom. And it may challenge somebody's belief systems about reincarnation and different things like that, and that we chose to come here together, to work together, to learn lessons in this dream and this stage that we play on to further our souls. But I wanted to share this with everyone because this experience was a game changer in my personal experience, and I know a lot of people struggle through fear of the unknown in the world as we go through this sacred experience of transition. So I had a little disruption, so I just wanted to pick up on the end of this video. I encourage you to share this with people that it might be valuable to them. And as I was mentioning about belief systems and things like that, it's all fine. It's really not the point. Anyway, I hope that it is helpful to whoever may stumble upon it. And, again, it's a sacred event, and it's a topic that we don't discuss much in our culture, which is really unfortunate to me as an end-of-life doula, because it's such a beautiful, sacred experience. It's just the other side of being born, and we come into this experience to experience. And all right, well, thank you so much to all of you, and much infinite love to all of you, and that's it. Mwah. Bye.